The good stuff is all new, and today, we're celebrating summer's bounty. Andrea Buckett, Anna Olson, and Vijaya Selvaraju join Mary to turn farm-fresh ingredients into delicious dishes. From crave-worthy sandwiches and savory tarts to a hearty chowder and a sweet peach dessert, it's a celebration of summer you don't want to miss. And it all starts right now.
Today, we are celebrating summer's beautiful bounty. All hour long, we are serving you up fresh, seasonal dishes to help use up the best of the season. So everyone, please welcome my summer's bounty crew, Anna Olson, Vijaya Selvaraju, and Andrea Buckett. I feel like we're all in agreement here. Yes, Labor Day is past, but this is like peak produce time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's that magical time where summer and fall converge.
Yeah.
You've got peaches, but you have apple.
Yes.
And you have corn, but you have squash.
Yes.
It's just perfect.
It's literally kind of a dream. The weather is getting a little bit cooler, but honestly, that means you can turn your stove on, turn your oven on. You're not worried about heating up your house too much.
There's an abundance of everything. It's amazing.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. This is the time where it's like, use it up, because it's about to be winter.
Celebrate it.
Celebrate it, 100%. All right, I'm gonna kick things off though. So y'all go have a seat, get comfy. And I wanted to start off celebrating like a classic, everybody's favorite. We love a tomato, am I right?
Yes.
So good. It's like this year, I'm not gonna lie, I tried 0% with all of my tomatoes. I put them in the ground, I forgot about them, I thought they were all gonna be terrible, and they are so good this year.
Oh, they're so lovely.
Just absolutely amazing. Typically, I grow cherry tomatoes.
Same.
Because they're very easy. This year, I tried my hand at my first ever like full-sized tomato. I did a beautiful yellow tomato. I had the first one ripening. I was so excited. I was like, well, I'm gonna pick that tomorrow. Went out the next morning, a raccoon. Nightmare.
Stinker.
I know, and they take one bite and they leave the rest. And you're like, how dare they? Did you not like my tomato? Was it not good enough for you? Anyway, that was a nightmare. But today we are going to use the wonderful, delicious tomato, and we're going to do a classic BLT, but we're going to make homemade mayonnaise to go with it. How's that? Feeling it. All right. So the first thing we need to do is obviously get started on our bacon, because that's the thing that typically takes the longest when you're doing a BLT. So anytime I am making bacon, whether I'm doing it on the stove or in the oven, I always start it cold. I don't put it into a hot pan, I put it into a cold pan. So I have got 6 strips of bacon here, and I'm just gonna add that into my cold pan. Now, the reason that I do this into a cold pan is bacon obviously is a pretty fatty meat. There's a lot of fat going on in there, and if I were to put this into a hot pan immediately, what can tend to happen is it's almost like the outside crisps up, goes golden brown, and it locks all that fat in, so it doesn't render out and get crispy and chewy. It just gets kind of like burny and fatty, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna add that right on into the pan, and then I'm gonna turn the heat on to medium. So there it goes, medium heat. What that's gonna do is the bacon is going to slowly melt out all of that fat and then start to crisp up. So that not only is gonna give you perfectly crisp and chewy bacon, it's also gonna give you a lot more fat to work with, which just pop it in an apple juice can in your fridge. Do apple juice cans still exist?
I think they do.
Do they? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, uh-oh. Because I was like, where do you put your bacon fat? 100%. So pop that in. You can use it for cooking later. It's absolutely beautiful. But this bacon needs, once it comes up to temperature, I would say 3 to 4 minutes per side. But again, you have to wait till it comes up to temperature and that melts out. If you wanted to do this in the oven, you could definitely do that. Just pop it on a sheet pan, again, into a cold oven. Turn the heat on to 350, 400, whatever you want. When it comes up to temp, put a timer on for anywhere from like 5 to 8 minutes and you'll have perfectly crisp bacon.
That's amazing.
Now, as you can see, I'm putting a lot of pepper on this bacon.
I'm down with that.
We
I
like
that.
smoky heat.
Yes,
It's so nice.
it's so good. Now, if you wanted to, you could also add a little bit of maple syrup once this is crisped up, and or Montreal steak spice.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
See, now, you know when you rewrite a recipe as you're making it? You're like, maybe I should have done that.
So many options.
Right? There's so many options. So we've got that bacon doing its thing, but now we got to get to work on our mayonnaise. Now, if you don't want to make mayonnaise, that's fine. Just use a good old jar from the store. But mayonnaise is actually really simple to make if you've got a couple of tools. So the first thing I have here is an immersion blender. And I also have the little cup that it comes with. Now you want to use the cup that it comes with or like a smaller jar or a thinner jar because you want something where the bottom of it is just a little bit bigger than the head of the immersion blender. Because when you're making mayonnaise, typically you're using a whisk and you're whisking constantly because what you're doing is you're making an emulsion, kind of similar to a salad dressing. You're trying to make something that's watery, eggs, and something that's oily, oil, come together into something that doesn't split. And it's a little bit tricky. But making sure that happens, a little bit of science with the immersion blender will be perfect. So we've got our cup here. I'm gonna go in with an egg. I like a whole egg mayonnaise. How do we feel? Yeah?
Fine.
Maybe? Feeling it?
Keeps it nice and easy, too.
Easy,
No
that's
separation.
the thing. And I find that the albumin and the egg white, that little bit of extra protein just holds everything together. All right, into there, we're gonna go in with about a tablespoon of some Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
That'll be absolutely beautiful as well. I love Dijon. Andrea Buckett's here, so you have to use Dijon.
Gotta use it.
It's kind of the rule. So in we go with about a tablespoon of that. Now the Dijon's gonna give a little bit of flavor, but it's also gonna help emulsify everything and hold everything together. I'm also gonna go in with just a little bit of lemon juice, just about a tablespoon of that as well, right on in. Then what you need to do is pop that immersion blender in and put it all the way onto the bottom. That's what you wanna do.
Classic.
Classic. Don't move it, don't touch it. Just put it like that. Now we're gonna go in with a cup of oil. I'm just using a canola oil here, just a neutral flavor, and just kind of slowly pour that in. Now the only weirdly kind of specific part of this recipe is once that oil is in, let this sit for about 15 seconds and settle. So while we're waiting for 15 seconds, Andrea Buckett, I have a question for you.
Oh no, I feel like I'm on the hot seat.
You are in the hot seat. You recently posted a story or a video where you were talking about how you don't love a mayonnaise on a tomato. What? Tell me more.
You know what? Okay, guys, I do love mayonnaise. I have it in my fridge. I use it often.
Yeah.
But I love a tomato that's fresh, just drizzled with some olive oil.
Yeah.
Just a hint of salt. It's kind of like a bruschetta vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe a little grated garlic. Honestly, there's nothing better in the
But
fall.
on a sandwich?
Yes. Well, it's kind of bruschetta-ish.
Yeah.
But you put a top on it.
Yeah, I do.
See? I like it. No, what I also like, I like that you grate the garlic onto the tomato. What I typically do is rub it onto the toast, but this
Yes.
is giving a good punch of garlic.
It
Andrea
is, but
Buckett.
you know, Mary, we go back and forth. We do lots of different recipes.
100%.
We have lots of different flavors. We have seasons of what we do.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I know you will eat, you like a mayonnaise, you're like me, but I
100%.
was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna get gut from Andrea Buckett, because I was like, we love that oil too. All right, so this has been sitting for about 15 seconds. I think it was perfect amount of time. That was perfect. But basically what we wanna do now is turn this immersion blender on with it still holding onto the bottom, and then we're gonna slowly lift it up, hopefully get a perfect emulsion.
This is high pressure.
This is high pressure, I'm very nervous. Okay, here we go. So we're starting, and we're gonna slowly lift it.
Beautiful.
Slowly, oh, this is pretty good. We're feeling pretty good. And just slowly lift it up. That oil is like emulsifying in, and then there you have it. Ooh, Guys, you want to see how not confident I was? I was so not confident I had mayonnaise right here just in case. But we are good to go. All right, I'm gonna season that up with a little bit of salt. And if you want here, you could put in some garlic. You could do a little bit of pesto, a little bit of chipotle and adobo. But that to me is absolutely beautiful mayonnaise. So now we're just gonna build up a sandwich. So I've got my tomatoes here. If you wanted to, you could use heirloom tomatoes if you can find them. Typically lately, I've been finding them in the grocery store, and they're $1 gajillion. So you know what? Just use a classic farm fresh tomato. Give it a good thick slice. If your knives are not the sharpest in the world, use a bread knife. This is one of the instances where a bread knife is perfect because those serrations are gonna get into the tomato. If you don't have a bread knife for whatever reason, one of my tips is the sharpest part of your knife will be this end because you don't use it that much. So if you start cutting on the back end, you'll be able to get in and then slice through. So, fun fact with Mary, I love it. Okay, then we've got our beautiful bread here. I'm just using a sourdough. I'm gonna go on with a good helping of that beautiful mayonnaise.
And it's so cost effective,
It's so
too.
cost effective.
Making your own mayo.
I heard someone laugh because they were like, that was a lot of mayonnaise. Welcome to my kitchen. A lot of mayonnaise. A little bit of mustard as well. You could go on with smooth. I'm gonna do a mixture of smooth and grainy. A little bit of pop right there. Give that a schmear. And then this is my only bone to pick with a BLT. The order of the BLT is wrong.
Okay.
You never do lettuce in the middle. It's never bacon, lettuce, tomato, right?
No, you're right.
No.
How do
you're
we-
right.
It's always lettuce
First.
First, thank you. Okay, we're all in agreement.
Creates
Lettuce
a little
down.
bit of a bed. just like
Exactly.
the rest of the ingredients,
Then to
right?
be honest, then I would do tomato.
Yeah, I would. That's
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Guys, we're changing the game. It's a BTL now.
I gotta think about this.
Yeah, let's do this. Then I'm gonna go on with that bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pop
look
that
how
on.
crispy that is.
Right? Beautiful.
It didn't shrink very
It
much
doesn't
either,
shrink
yeah.
much at all. Give that a slice in half, and you have got one heck of a beautiful BLT. All right, we're gonna dig into this. When we come back, we're keeping that summer's bounty going. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Tomorrow, it's experts helping experts. Andrea Buckett calls in Leanna Lair-Perot to help her revamp her living room. And Andrea repays the favor by helping Leanne with some easy recipes that are great for on the go. Then, Mary and Aaron are heading into the great outdoors for a camping adventure with Owen Reeves as their guide. And back in the kitchen, Mary turns the tables helping Owen level up his culinary skills. That's tomorrow on an all-new episode.
Today we are showing you how to use up some of summer's best produce. You just caught us in the middle of the commercial break talking about how good this basil smells.
Yeah.
Which is an absolute thrill. I can't walk by herbs without doing this and then
Yeah.
100%. Now I'm very excited because Anna, you are going to be using one of your favorite things for this time of year. What are we talking about?
Green beans.
Oh, I love a green
Or yellow
bean.
beans.
Okay.
I don't even look at a yellow bean outside of this big season. Oh, no.
1000%.
But they're so sweet and tender this time of year, as terrible as they are in January.
1000%.
And so living in Niagara, I stop by farm gate stands and our local markets all the time. And there is one lady at the Welland Market that we have affectionately nicknamed the Bean Whisperer.
The bean, oh my God, look at these beans.
Shit, that's all she sells.
She's only beans.
Only beans.
Okay, I like this.
And they are beautiful. She's just got some magic plot of land, and they are the most tender beans, and we'll buy a jumbo basket and eat them every day.
I love that. Also, when they're that good, just raw, delicious.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
But it also means you have to get creative with your
With your
beans.
beans. Yes,
And this recipe is for a peameal bacon and green bean tart.
Oh, yummy.
I'm not calling it a quiche.
No, okay.
Even though there is egg in it, and I love your enthusiasm. We're gonna start with the crust.
Okay, perfect. I love that.
And so I've already got my flour and butter pulsed in here. So just give that another pulse or two.
Now,
just
a food-
making sure I know how to use the machine.
1000%. To make sure it works. Now, a food processor is so great for this because you're not getting your warm hands in there. It makes quick work of everything.
It is, and because we're working in some cheese, we really want it to work in.
Yeah.
And this, adding the Parmesan cheese actually ensures that the crust will be tender.
Ooh.
And because this is a savory tart, it just adds more flavor.
I love that.
I'll add my water all at once,
Okay.
and we're just going to blitz this until it comes together.
Okay.
Does the temperature of the water matter? Should it be ice water or?
No, because we're not doing a pie dough to try and build in the flakiness, you've got, between the butter and the Parmesan cheese, it's just going to be tender.
Oh, okay. So it's almost more like a savory shortbread cookie kind of situation.
And so when you see that, oh, I love that. When
This
that
is
happens.
amazing.
So satisfying.
It's
There
like when you see the dough starting to like chase itself around the bowl. Yeah.
Now, it's
Oh my
nice
God.
and soft now, but
Anna.
it's too sticky to work with. You want to let it rest.
I'm gonna give you a hand. That was the most beautiful dough I've ever seen on this show. That was amazing. Yeah. So it's a little sticky right
It's
now.
a little sticky. I give it about half an hour in the fridge. Now, this is where, when I chill a pie dough, 2 hours, do it the day before,
Yeah.
and then you pull it out about 10, 15 minutes and roll it. Because of the cheese and the butter quantity, this really firms up in the
Okay.
fridge. So 30 minutes is ideal, but if you're making this a day ahead, give it 90 minutes on the counter
Oh,
to
really?
soften, just to make your life easy.
Yeah, but you need that chill time to relax that gluten and
Yes.
make it so it's gonna be nice and tender too.
Yes.
Okay, so then,
Then
Yeah.
what you do is roll the dough, you line your fluted, your quiche pan. It can be, and we've got one in the oven baking because you need to blind bake it. So
Okay.
at a 375 oven, after you've rolled it and lined it, you put your weights, your foil in your weights, and you bake it for 15 minutes. Then you pull the foil off with the weights. and you
That's the
bake it
blind
another.
baking. You're hiding
Yeah,
it.
you want to pre-cook it because if you put the wet filling into an unbaked crust, it'll never crisp up on the bottom.
No, you're going to end up with the dreaded soggy bottom.
Yes.
We don't want
If
that.
we could take a look at this, what I love about this crust recipe, it doesn't shrink down.
No.
It stays in place.
And also, you can see the little bits of cheese
Oh,
in it, which is a thrill.
And this is going back in the oven, so it's going to caramelize some more around
Even
the
more.
edges.
I love. Now, what do you use for your pie weights, Anna?
Well, interestingly, I used to use rice
Yeah,
or beans,
beans,
but I tried one of those social media hacks with sugar, granulated sugar.
Yeah.
And it fills in all the gaps.
Yeah.
And guess what? With repeated use, that sugar starts to caramelize a little bit.
And then you
can
get more
use
delicious
the
sugar. Oh, I love that. Because if
So
you're
I just
baking
keep
your
it in a
beans.
separate jar.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I
We
know.
love that. All right, so we've got this beautiful
Yes.
blind baked. What are we doing now?
Now, I'll have you work on the fillings
Okay.
while I work on the liquid filling. So I've got some cooked peameal bacon.
Perfect.
That I love, just like your BLT, something with a little chew to it.
Yes, 100%.
And if Peameal it isn't available across Canada fully.
It's funny because it's known as like Canadian bacon, but
But
really it's not a West
no.
Coast thing.
So ham works wonderfully.
Okay,
Because this
perfect.
is a bit of a twist on a quiche Lorraine without being quichey. And then we're gonna layer in the peameal bacon with some blanched, beautiful green beans.
Perfect.
And then sprinkle in some capers.
Oh, I like the salty.
And then
bit.
just go in there and tear up the basil and
do
put
it.
it in
Let's
the
do
tart
it.
shell.
Okay,
The
perfect.
combo of
Okay.
flavors is speaking to me.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Salty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want full flavor. So this is a tart I like to serve as much at room temperature as warm.
Okay,
You don't
I love
have to
that.
serve it hot from
And
the
for
oven.
the beans, do we just go in whole?
Just,
Love
I want
this.
that texture.
Oh, okay, I love
Just
this.
scatter them around.
Okay, perfect.
And to envelop all this filling, I've got an egg yolk, 2 whole eggs. And I'll add to that, instead of using milk, because I don't want it too fluid, I'm using sour cream.
Anna, you got to remember. We are all hooked about this.
And you don't need too much salt, 1/4 teaspoon of that. Pepper, I'll give it a little whisk.
Okay, perfect.
And this is going to
Eat a bean.
completely
Eat a bean,
cover.
nothing better.
That's a really good bean.
I know.
That's a really
You
good
can really
bean.
get excited about green beans this time of year.
Listen, this is why I love this show. We're all way too excited about green beans.
We're vegetable nerds.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Oh, this is thick and creamy. It's almost like a creme fraiche texture.
Yeah. And it's going to sort of seep in and fill in all the gaps. And the finishing touch, a little bit of fresh goat cheese.
beautiful.
On top.
I love the fact that we have a double cheese moment too. We got
Yeah.
the parm in the
Oh,
crust,
yeah.
and then we got the goat cheese on top. Anna, oh my gosh.
There we go. And this takes about half an hour
Okay.
in the same oven, a 375
Okay.
oven.
Oh, perfect.
Let it cool for about 15 minutes before you serve it, or like I said, let it cool to room temperature.
Yeah.
Make it
gonna
a
be
day
tough.
ahead, serve it cold.
That's going
And
to be
it's-
tough waiting around.
Look at this little stunner. Now, Anna, we've used a removable bottom tart
Yes.
pan, which is always fun. I know that some people, to get that tart out of there, uses like an upside down jar. I just kind of put a bracelet on. Does that
Oh,
make
I
sense
do
to
that
you?
too.
Okay,
You let
cool.
it cool enough.
That you can handle it.
You can handle it.
You pop it on, and then you put a bracelet on.
Yeah.
Right? All right.
Wow.
Shall we pop her down?
Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Now, am I gonna try to
Just
just a little bit of that?
there we go.
Oh my
Slide it
gosh!
off.
Look at that! What a start!
So good.
A little fresh basil on top.
Some fresh basil on top.
Perfect.
And what I like about leaving the beans whole is when you cut the slices, you see the beans in there because you don't want to cut your beans into those 1-inch pieces.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
People might think you used frozen.
Exactly. And we don't want that,
No.
Anna. This is absolutely stunning. I'm going to start slicing this up. But studio audience, to help you serve up delicious seasonal dishes, thanks to Kitchen Stuff Plus, you're all going home with their best-selling Toscana fluted pie dish available in a variety. Enjoy that. Make this 30 minutes. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We are celebrating Summer's Bounty today in the kitchen, and Vijaya is up next, bringing us the taste of France.
Yes.
I'm very excited. Vijaya, tell us what we're doing.
So we're going to be making French-style sausage-stuffed tomatoes and zucchini.
Okay. Also good. zucchinis are
Abundant.
abundant.
And
Crazy.
inexpensive, so use them up. This is my father-in-law's recipe, and this is what French people eat at home. Because we're all familiar with coq au vin, boeuf bourguignon, but these are simple dishes that take no time at all, that really celebrate the flavors of the tomato, the zucchini. It's just lovely.
I love the fact also that I feel like this is kind of sort of a casserole
Yes,
in sorts, which is
100%.
great because it's one pan, it's super simple, and that's
Yes.
kind of how, again, French at home is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're gonna start off with our tomatoes.
Okay.
So I have some beautiful tomatoes here, and we're gonna create a bit of a cavity in the tomatoes, right? So you're just gonna cut the tops off, and you want your tomato to be a bit firm because it's gonna go into the oven for a bit.
Okay.
So you can use a paring knife or a little spoon, or Mary, do you have a suggestion for how to?
Oh, do I ever? Yes. Okay. You know, like there's some people who love grapefruit. Personally, I'm not one of them. And you have those grapefruit spoons, which is like a spoon and a knife in one. Grapefruit spoon. If you're making a stuffed tomato, Vijaya's stuffed tomatoes, you use a
Right?
grapefruit spoon. Handy dandy.
Exactly.
So there you go. Second use for those weird little spoons. That's a really good shout out. Best tip ever.
And Mary, if you don't mind cutting the zucchini lengthwise.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna create a cavity in the zucchini as well.
Oh, right on.
And then we're gonna save all the little bits, right? So I've just scooped out the tomato pulp, chopped it up a bit, that goes into the bowl. You're gonna scoop out as much as you can from that zucchini.
Now, I love
throw into
scooping
this
out a
bowl.
zucchini too because they're so easy.
It's very satisfying.
Very satisfying. Yeah.
And that's gonna go into the bowl.
Okay, perfect.
And then let's talk rice, because this is a dish of a baked tomato with sausage sitting on top of rice.
Oh.
And yes, you can bake rice.
This
and it's
is
fantastic.
Honestly, a game changer for me. We've been doing it a lot on the show. Andrea, you did a recipe recently with baked rice. It's so good. It cooks up beautifully, and you get a little bit more texture and flavor.
Yes, exactly. So we have some basmati rice here. You can use any long grain rice that you like. We're gonna take the tomato chunks and zucchini and pop them in to the rice because we don't want that to go to waste. And
I
it's so
love
much great
this.
flavor there. A little bit of white wine. Some
There we
water.
go. Sorry,
Some water. And you want a good bit of water because it's going to be absorbing into the rice and fluffing it up. A little bit of olive oil. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. And then I'm going to do a nice big pinch of salt.
Okay, love
Okay.
that.
And then you're going to give that a mix, and that's going to hang to the side.
Okay, perfect.
Right?
Dream.
Amazing. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our sausage filling.
Okay.
So at the base of the sausage filling, we have some beautiful bratwurst sausage. You can use any type of sausage that you'd like. And then we wanna add some more flavor to it.
Totally.
So it's a French dish, so there's gotta be butter.
There's got to be better. You simply must.
Yeah, you simply must. So butter, some finely chopped shallots or shallots, depending who you are and how fancy you want to
Shallot
be.
feels very Chaucer, like Lady of Shallots. Did anyone do that in university? No? Okay, never mind. Yeah, right on. I'll be here all week.
A little bit of garlic as well. And then the French spice blend known as herbe de Provence. So this is a blend of rosemary and thyme, and there's a little bit of lavender in there as well, which is so flavorful. If you can't find it, don't sweat it. A little bit of thyme and rosemary, either dry or fresh, will do the trick.
Perfect, I love that.
So that goes in, and that's just gonna bloom the spice a little bit.
Okay.
And then once that's nice and warm
This
and toasty,
already smells so good.
so fragrant,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna let that mixture completely cool down, and that's what we have here.
Right on.
Okay? We're gonna add the sausage to it. There we go. And then a few binders.
Now, what type of sausage do you typically use for this one?
I like using bratwurst because it's nice and neutral. It's savory, but not too overpowering in terms of flavor.
Totally.
But again, whatever floats your boat, go for it.
Go for it. I like that energy.
Yeah. So one egg
Okay.
to bind things, as well as a bit of breadcrumb. And the breadcrumb serves two purposes. It'll hold the sausage together, but any of that sort of excess moisture that comes off the tomato or the zucchini, it'll help absorb that.
Oh, smart. Okay,
Right?
cool.
So I'm gonna do a nice big pinch of salt as well, because we want to season up the other ingredients in the bowl, and then some black pepper.
Perfect.
Right, and Mary's just going at it.
I'm
with
going
those
for
two
it.
forks.
All right, perfect.
This is 2-fork energy, people.
Listen, I always do a 2-4. I know you like the forks at the end of your hands, or your hands. Using those for mixing, so easy.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna season up the inside of the tomato because we want that to be nice and flavorful as well.
Perfect.
I'm gonna scoot on over and do the same for the zucchini.
Oh wait, so we're stuffing both.
We're stuffing both,
Nice.
Mary.
Vijaya, I
Yeah.
like this. This is almost like a French meatball.
Yes, exactly. So great way to stuff these is with an ice cream scoop or a disher, but you can also use your hands, which I do often at home. And then you just plop that in there. That sounds really fancy.
Plop it in. It's very French. Yeah.
And then you're gonna settle each of these tomatoes into the dish.
Just right into the liquid.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then top it with its little top.
Look at that. So adorable, right? Oh my gosh.
Do you wanna do a zucchini?
Yeah, I'll do a zucchini. Okay. Perfect.
So I'm gonna do one more tomato.
Okay, and then for the zucchini, we just kind of do it like along the zucchini?
Exactly, along the length of the zucchini.
Okay. So I'm already seeing something that I feel like you've already thought about. This meat mixture in the zucchini is like, there's more surface area, so it's gonna cook a little bit quicker.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're gonna do two things, okay? We're gonna I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. We're gonna take this tomato casserole, Mary.
There you go.
Ooh, it's heavy.
Okay, we got you, we got you.
And we're gonna pop it in for 25 minutes.
Okay.
And at the 25-minute mark, we're gonna take our stuffed zucchini.
I feel like I'm talking on the phone.
Pop it onto the top rack.
Oh.
An additional 25 minutes.
Okay.
And both of them will be ready at the same time.
Oh, I like, so you're still gonna get that little bit of bite from the zucchini as well?
Exactly, because you wanna maintain the texture of the zucchini. You don't wanna get it too mushy. Like when there's a little bit of like tender crisp action going on.
Totally.
And then the tomato, oh my gosh.
Vijaya.
Do you have another set of,
I'll come back.
You'll come back?
Do you mind scooching the knife? Oh my gosh, look at those. Look at those. I'm gonna get out of here.
Lost the hat, lost the hat.
Look at these.
Right?
This is like a 2-for-1.
And the beautiful thing about this is you're gonna take the tomato, place it on your dish like this. Okay. Perhaps a zucchini as well, depending on how hungry you are.
But the golden brown
nice
of that.
and crisp. And then you have this beautiful, look at that fluffy rice.
This is a stunner. Oh my gosh.
And then the great thing is as you're eating it, you cut into the tomato and the tomato releases its juices and it creates a sauce of its own. And it's just it's one of the most delicious dishes my father-in-law ever made.
That's
I love it so much.
Vijaya, this is so beautiful. I can't say no to rice. We're gonna keep dishing this up. But Andrea, Buckett, you're up next. Sounds good? 6 pounds. All show long, we are celebrating summer's beautiful, delicious produce. And Andrea, Buckett, you are working with two of my faves.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm feeling really pumped about this.
Corn?
Corn.
Leeks?
Leeks.
Yeah.
Ooh, together at
Delicious.
last.
Corn chowder.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I like corn chowder because it's kind of like a shoulder season recipe. You know what I mean? You're using sort of that late harvest corn, but the colder months, so it's really hearty and delicious. And yeah, let's do it.
I'm very excited. I love a good soup. I love a good leek. It's the most like cool onion. It looks like punk rock.
Right?
It's just like, hey.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna actually make a little bit of a stock for this chowder, which might sound difficult to do, but it's so easy, and you really want to take advantage of that delicious sweet corn. And so what we're gonna do is we are going to actually fortify some chicken stock.
Some store-bought.
Some store-bought chicken stock.
Love that.
So we're gonna do this really quickly. So we've got a whole liter there, or 900 mils. And then you're gonna cut your corn, all those niblets off the cob and reserve those. And then we're gonna pop them in. Now, to cut your corn, there's a few different ways you can do it. Honestly, I know you guys love a bunt pan. You love to put bowls and bowls. You can literally just sit it on its side like this and cut it.
Yes.
Or if you're feeling like super safe,
If you're feeling like a daredevil.
you can totally use a mandolin.
Ooh.
Okay? I actually think it's pretty safe because it's a large vegetable. You just slide it once and you turn it. You slide it once and you turn it. Mary's not buying it.
Listen, the last time I got a bad cut was on a mandolin, and I just, you know what? She sits in the drawer now.
Exactly. We're going to go in with leeks. So we're going to use the greens of the leeks here to fortify that with flavor as well.
It's almost like you're making like a corn leek tea.
You got it.
In this beautiful chicken broth.
Exactly. And then we're going to go in with some black peppercorns, and I love some coriander. I think coriander is really underused.
This,
It's a bit citrusy. It has a great pop of flavor. It's that familiar flavor you get when you have steak spice. It gives that little pop. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and it's not overly crunchy. So if you do get one in, it is actually like pleasant to eat whole as opposed to like a peppercorn, which is a little chunky.
You're going to put a top on that, and you're going to let it simmer while you do the rest of the work.
Okay, perfect. Love that.
And we're going to do a little swap out here.
Little do-si-do.
Do you love how I match the pot?
It's really nice. I was going to say also, a hot tip. Vijaya, you match this summer's bounty thing
just gonna put
perfectly.
Okay, so every good chowder, in my opinion, starts with bacon.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like there's a theme
There
going
is a
on
bit
here.
of a theme. We've got
right?
pork and
Yeah.
actually, yes, sausage,
Peameal.
bacon,
Yeah,
bacon.
Summer's
So here we
bounty
go.
with pork.
With pork.
Okay, so we rendered off some bacon and then we removed the bacon bits and we left the fat in the pan because that's going to give us tons of flavor. And we put in some celery and the whites of those leeks. Now let's talk leeks, Mary, because I know a lot of people are worried about they're dirty and of course, you know, they're grown underground and that sort of
They're
thing.
sandy. They're a sandier onion.
Totally. So if you cut them like this, you can like run them under the water as you take away the layers.
Like a deck of
It's like
cards.
a deck of cards. Or you can slice them sort of in like 1-inch chunks like this, pop them into your salad spinner, right? Give them a wash, pick out the basket, let the water drain away and give them a spin.
Yeah, I love that.
Right, but they look like this, you're gonna put them in. The thing with leeks, I like to keep the temperature sort of medium low because if they burn, they don't really taste that great.
I find when they burn, they get almost papery in
Yes.
texture, whereas when you cook them slowly, they melt and get jammy, which
Exactly.
is really, really good.
Yeah, okay, so let's go in with our corn niblets
Love
here.
it. So how many ears of corn did we do?
And we did 5.
Okay, perfect. I love that.
Yeah, 5 gives you like 5 cups, 4 cups.
And then you got 1 cob just to eat if you got a half dozen.
You got it.
What a delight.
Keep it for yourself, put it on the grill.
Num, num, num.
You know? We put that in there. We're gonna put in some other seasonings. So I've got some garlic.
Okay.
I've got some fresh thyme. You know I love thyme, Mary. It's one of it's my go-to herb. I
It
always
is your
have
go-to.
it.
Everyone has a go-to.
Yep, some cayenne pepper.
Oh, I like the cayenne.
Because we're gonna make this creamy, I find like cayenne or something like nutmeg really sort of like balances out that, you know, rich flavor. So we're gonna let that go. And now we're gonna do what's sort of like an aromatic roux.
Okay.
Essentially, we're gonna take some flour and we're gonna dust it over all the veg in the pot.
So we've still got a little bit of residual fat from
You got
earlier.
it, you got it.
Okay.
So we're gonna cook that out and everything is gonna get a little bit clunky in there.
That's how it goes.
Right?
When you're making a roux, if it's not clunky, you're not doing it right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you only want to cook that for 2 or 3 minutes just to get rid of that raw flavor. And then we're going to go in with some potatoes.
Oh, okay.
A whole bunch of potatoes.
And are the potatoes cooked or are they raw? What are we
They're raw
talking?
when they go in.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, they're
Love
raw
that.
when they go in, all right? So we're going to stir that up, and then we're going to go in with that fortified stock. Now, if you've just done this, you could literally set a colander over it, have someone help you just pour the stock right in there. That would be great. So we have our fortified corn stock right here.
Or we have a
right?
wonderful culinary crew who are behind us. You can't see them.
Exactly.
Do it for us, which is always good.
A little bit more. I need more liquid there, Mary. You know what
Little
I'm
bit
gonna
more?
do? I'm gonna ladle somebody here.
Okay, perfect. I love
All right.
that. Let's do it.
Let's just do
It
this.
smells so good, Andrea.
Here we go.
Get a little bit of that in there.
Yeah, let's do a little bit
Beautiful.
more. Perfect.
Okay, so right now, this is looking beautiful. Obviously, it's going to start to thicken up because of that roux, which
You
is
got
a
it.
dream.
We're gonna use a little half and half.
Just how
right?
much of this are we going in with?
That looks about 2 cups.
Are we doing 2 cups?
We're gonna do 2 cups.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So because we've used some flour in there, and the flour will help to thicken up that dairy, you can use like a lesser fat dairy. Sometimes, of course, I do chowder with just like heavy cream.
Yeah.
Right, which is
And
a lot.
That's for the good guests.
Yeah. I am going to salt it a little bit as well, even though we use like some store-bought stock. You do want to salt it as well. And then we're going to go in with an immersion blender again. Common theme here.
I
the
know.
immersion
God,
blender.
we did not talk before we wrote these recipes.
Yeah. And you're going to take this as far as you want to take it. So we're just going to really sort of puree some of those potatoes
Okay.
to give it an extra velvety feel for the whoa. She's overboard.
We love it. I was gonna say, a pot tilt always helps. It's always
Yeah.
good.
You just got to pick her up and make
So
sure it's
basically,
immersed.
once those potatoes have cooked through,
Yes.
you give it a good little puree.
You got it. That
Oh my
should be
God,
good.
that looks so good, Andrea. Now, we're not pureeing it too much because you don't want those potatoes to get all gluey,
No,
but it's going to be
exactly.
absolutely beautiful. So we've got our handy dandy little guy over here. I'll grab the ladle.
And you know what? I'm not. If the kitchen's not messy, I'm not really cooking.
I
so-
honestly, I don't realize how messy I am because my husband like follows me around cleaning up. And I'm like, I'm the neatest cook in the world.
We all need an errand.
Yeah,
in the kitchen, you know what I mean? Okay, so then we're going to serve it up, and of course we have put those bacon bits aside. Also, do we have green onions? Did I already put them in?
We did have green onion. They were in your hand.
Guys,
Oh, exciting.
Anna was like, I just watched you. What a day. What a day, guys. We're all after this corn chowder. Yes.
Here, let's garnish it with some bacon.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna
quantity of
dough
Yeah,
bacon
let's
there,
dosey dough.
yeah.
I know, the quantity of bacon is
Yeah,
the
the
dream.
bacon really only does 2 people.
Oh my gosh, Andrea, this is absolutely stunning. Listen, we're gonna pass these on down to our pals. Andrea, can I, shall we Lady in the Tramp this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do this thing. All right, let's give it a taste. I'm very excited. Let's give it a go. The cayenne in there. Absolutely beautiful. Listen, we gotta take a quick break, but when we come back, I'm making some dessert, so stick around. We are back in the kitchen celebrating all things delicious that the farmers markets and stands have on offer right now. Now, I am on dessert duty. We've had a lot of delicious savory things, a lot of pork. Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. I'm feeling very good about it. But I wanted to keep things really, really simple with a peach and almond tart.
Come on.
This is one of those desserts that looks harder than it actually is, which is my dream dessert. This is a really good one if you get it all prepped ahead and you pop it in the oven while you're eating dinner. You get to be like, oh, I made dessert, which is a dream. Always a good thing. All right, so the first thing we need to do is get to work on kind of sort of a frangipane. And a frangipane is essentially what you get on the inside of an almond croissant when you're eating it. That kind of fudgy almond paste. It's super delicious. And in my world, when I'm making frangipane, if it looks kind of weird, you're doing it right. Basically, it's not quite a cookie dough. It's not quite a cake batter. It's somewhere in the middle. So the first thing we need is a 1/4 cup of room temperature butter. If you've got salted, use salted. If you got unsalted, use unsalted. Honestly, it's not gonna make a difference. Into there, I'm going in with a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now, I'm using white sugar. If you've got brown sugar, feel free to use that. This is a very, as you can tell, rough and tumble recipe. Do what you want, it'll be great. So in with that 1/4 cup of sugar as well. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a blitz just to combine. Now, when you are creaming something, typically what you're doing is you're trying to beat butter and sugar together to incorporate air and to kind of break down those sugar granules. But to be honest, I don't worry too much about creaming this frangipane because I'm not really making a frangipane. It's kind of just a spread to go on top. So to be honest, this looks good to me. So into there, I'm gonna go in with an egg. So just one large egg getting cracked right on in. Is everyone a counter cracker?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then for those not in the know, it means we crack the egg on the counter as opposed to the side of the bowl. Side of the bowl, I'm always convinced it's gonna send the eggshells right on in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Always chance it.
Yeah. And can anyone do a one-hander?
I can't.
On a good day.
Anna was just so humble there.
Kind of egg cracking.
Yeah. Anna just went. That was amazing. It's like asking like Michael Jordan if he can like get a ball in the hoop. Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of almond extract, about 1/2 teaspoon. If you are not someone who's confident on free pouring extracts, definitely measure almond because it's a lot stronger. So you'd want to measure that 1/2 teaspoon. I like to live dangerously when it comes to extracts. Then we're gonna go in with 1/2 or a full teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's all gonna be good. It's gonna come out in the wash. Now I'm gonna give that a little blitz just to combine, just until it looks a little bit creamy and that butter's broken down a bit. Again, this is a frangipane, so as opposed to having a lot of flour in it, we actually use mainly almond flour. So if your butter's still looking a little chunky like this at this moment, that's totally fine. It will mix together once, right? You smell that almond?
Yeah. Almond. Yeah.
Almond
I
is
love
so
almond.
good,
Yeah,
I know. And almond and stone fruits go together so beautifully. So into there, we're gonna start adding in our dry ingredients. So the first thing I need is some almond flour. Now, almond flour, you can get it in the health food section often, or at a bulk food store. You need 3/4 cup of that. It's just ground up almonds.
Or a wholesale store.
Or a wholesale store.
Yes.
Vijaya and I love a wholesale store. We talk about wholesale stores most of the time when we're together.
It's true.
It's great. Then I'm gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. If you wanted to make this kind of gluten-free, you could use a gluten-free blend. That would work perfectly. Little bit of salt, just to kind of counteract that sugar, about 1/4 teaspoon. Gonna go in with a little bit of cinnamon as well, just about 1/2 teaspoon. And then if you wanted to here, you could go in with a little ginger. You could go in with clove if you're looking a little festive. You could also go in with your shirt nutmeg if you want.
What?
Where was that, Mary?
Listen, guys, there's no pockets today.
Or a little orange liqueur.
A little orange liqueur.
Brandy.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna get this mixed up just until it's combined. And again, it comes together lickety-split, just like that. That's literally all we need to do, and that's basically kind of a frangipane. So all I need to do now is get to work on the peaches. So I'm using peaches. If you can't find good peaches, you could use nectarines, you could use plums, you could use cherries, whatever you can find. Just about 3 cups. go right on into my bowl. I'm gonna season those with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, perhaps some more nutmeg. While I get these mixing though, we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna put this tart together. Stick around.
Tomorrow, it's experts helping experts. Andrea Buckett calls in Leanna Lair-Perot to help her revamp her living room. And Andrea repays the favor by helping Leanne with some easy recipes that are great for on the go. Then, Mary and Aaron are heading into the great outdoors for a camping adventure with Owen Reeves as their guide. And back in the kitchen, Mary turns the tables helping Owen level up his culinary skills. That's tomorrow on an all-new episode.
Today. Now, we've made a lot of delicious savory food, but I'm working on dessert. So before the break, I made up this beautiful frangipan, and then over the break, I mixed some peaches with just 2 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of nutmeg. And what I did was I got a couple of sheets of frozen puff pastry. I'm not gonna ask you to make puff pastry. If you're looking for a good puff pastry or rough puff recipe, Anna Olson is your girl.
Anna.
You go over there, yeah.
What I buy just a good butter puff pastry.
100%.
Most of the time.
It's in the freezer section. You thaw it in your fridge. Super, super simple. Now, I did double mine up because I do like a lot of pastry. So I've got those laid out, and then I spread that frangipan on top. Now, all I need to do is pop those peaches on. You can arrange them nicely if you're feeling it, but I just go for a big ol'...
Yeah, I like that better. Who has time to like arrange it? Too precious.
Too precious, and if people feel scared to eat it. I like it when it looks a little like rough and tumble, you know?
Well, and we were just talking about how September is the best time for peaches because they're the freestones.
Yes.
So they're easy to remove the pit.
You're not fighting with that pit. Oh my gosh, preach. I love it. All right, now I'm gonna go on with a little bit of some sliced almonds. That's just gonna hint to the fact that there's that almond frangipan underneath. Now this needs to go into a 400-degree oven. On the bottom rack, I like the bottom rack because it's gonna give a good crispy bottom. And this needs anywhere from, I say in the recipe, 30 minutes to 40 minutes. But to be honest, if you pop that in for 20, it'll still be good. Like, it'll be cooked enough to eat. If you go in for longer than that 40 minutes, again, it will still be delicious and tasty. This is a while you eat dinner tart. You pop it in before you serve dinner, and then you end up with something that looks like that. Super tasty. I can't actually remember what I say the serving portions. Yes. I was like, I think I say 8, but it's 4. Let's be honest. Let's be real. So I'm gonna chop this up. And again, since we did those beautiful 2 layers of puff pastry, you got a bit more sturdiness on the bottom. So this is what I would consider hand pie, which is always a good thing. So I'm gonna do this.
That's a big piece.
That's a big Listen, guys, we're doing it. All right, does anybody want a little ice cream on there? We're gonna go. Okay. A little vanilla ice cream right on top, especially when it's hot out of the oven.
Come on now.
As it melts down, what an absolute dream. All right, hand pie for Vijaya. You know what, Andrea, would you mind ice creaming everybody?
I'll do it.
Okay, love it. This is so great.
Thank you.
Again, with whatever fruits you have, this is also really nice. The almonds, if you do, or if you switch out the ground almonds for ground pecans and do apples on top. Ooh,
Beautiful.
Really that's a good call.
Yeah.
Super versatile. Absolutely delicious. Gals, this has been really fun.
Fun.
I've been having a great time celebrating summer's bounty.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm
girl.
just clearly going pizza vibes.
I think we are too, because we don't have spoons or forks.
Good.
So here we go.
Pizza vibes, everybody. Well, cheers to you. Thank you so much for doing this with us.